You know, when I started making this trip back in summer, I had thought I was going to Florida to fly into Orlando and take Brightline down to Miami, spend a day there, and then come back on Brightline in both classes. That would have been great. Well, it got too expensive really quick. So I did all the numbers for a lot of other destinations, and I found that the one that I could get the most videos out of at the lowest overall price and involve Amtrak was Little Rock, Arkansas to Chicago aboard the Texas Eagle. And up till 4 days ago, that's what I thought we were going to be doing tonight. I would be in Arkansas right now, catching that train and coach and hopefully getting upgraded to a sleeper. Well, there was a winter storm in the American South. Imagine that. With all other options now too expensive to complete this trip and get me to Chicago by Sunday to continue my hostel reservation and booking back to St. Paul on the Empire Builder on Monday, I had only one choice, and that is Greyhound. That bus station in Chicago for Greyhound is just pure sadness. I would do anything to avoid it, and luckily tonight, or tomorrow morning rather, my destination is the Cumberland Farms stop, aka the CTA Blue Line station at Cumberland. Hopefully we have it better going into Chicago. I've never had a bad experience or been completely let down going to Chicago on a coach bus. That is to say, I have taken Megabus and Greyhound, and I don't find either of them to be desirable. They just happen to be the cheapest one today. The bus tracker is showing everything is on time, but this is Greyhound, so I will believe everything when I am on the bus and we are actually on time. I've seen enough YouTube videos to know that everything can and often does go wrong with Greyhound. But today's trip is about small luxuries, one of which is Lot A parking in Union Depot. It's kind of heated, or at least not as cold. So the van shouldn't have a cold battery when I get back here on Monday. And as long as the Empire Builder actually runs and isn't more than an hour late, I won't have to pay for an extra day because I came in here at 12:01 a.m. with a 12:50 expected Greyhound arrival time. So let's try to figure out how to get to that waiting area. It's apparently door 13, so we'll figure out where we have to go beg to be let in. And it actually opened. You can get small luxuries with Greyhound, like seat selection and blocking off 2 seats, but I've seen enough YouTube videos to know that not all drivers enforce that. So we went with just the cheapest ticket option to not overinflate this price, because we got to save some money in case our train is canceled and we got to buy a flight home on Monday. Yep. And there are no trains running today, no Empire Builders, no Borealises. Too cold in the upper Midwest and too snowy in the south to run a Texas Eagle, hence the Greyhound tonight. But I think it's pretty straightforward. We just go down to the waiting area now. Of course, it's event time, not waiting area time. Nothing in the way of Amtrak trains. And that's us under Jefferson lines, but for Greyhound. I see people down there. Kind of imagine more people will be waiting, but I know based on the seat map this bus is not full, and actually my whole row doesn't have anyone else in it. Last I checked a couple hours ago, so we might luck out without having to get a reserved seat. Small luxuries like St. Paul water. I get a bubbler for tomorrow morning, but at $3.75 I think I'll wait a couple hours to get to the coffee place. Now that they're owned by Flixbus, though, hopefully we do get one of the new buses enabled by Flix. Or maybe just a Flixbus, we'll see. I guess this is some kind of puzzle event for the Winter Carnival in St. Paul. I'm pretty confident it'll pick up down there, but it's a one-way door if we go down there to look around, so I think we'll stay where it's warm. I also have this small luxury for that space at the bottom of my back where the seat back meets the seat. I've been using this on my couch at home for a month and it is great. I'd really just like this to be a trip without screaming babies, or body odor, or people on their phone all night or playing music, I could have that. I think the allergy medication I have to take because of all the dust and dander from being cooped up while it's 22 below here in Fahrenheit is probably going to do me well to maybe actually get some sleep. It's a 7-hour ride. I bet I get 2 hours of sleep. It is tracking the bus in supposedly real time coming out of Minneapolis. That's the station where most people are getting on this bus. And then afterwards we will make a stop in Eau Claire and then Toma and Milwaukee before this stop that I'm taking outside of downtown Chicago for convenience. I'm surprised that more people don't use Union Depot here in the Twin Cities though. But I know plenty of people that consider going between Minneapolis and St. Paul to be quite a trip. I even know a few that don't know that Amtrak moved into Union Depot. Yep, there she be. Greyhound enabled by Flix. These newer buses certainly do the service a lot more justice. Legroom is slightly better for the pre-recline. The amenities are sparse but there. The windows were really big and really clear. The cushion was much better than expected, but still doesn't feel like much. There's the useful cup holder, though I had to jam my whole water bottle in. The outlet has just regular 120 volt American. It held my plug, but the GFI was enabled, so it was not working. The footrest is just fine, but not really conducive for sleeping, and I'm only 5'6". Kind of a full ride. The lights did turn off while we were running, but turned on at every stop. Recline is certainly there, and the armrest actually does go to some positions that are normal enough and not really natural, but they might enable sleep if you're not too picky. For me, I was medicated enough and ready to give it a try. There are 4 daily trips between St. Paul and Milwaukee, 3 of which continue on to Chicago. But only this departure just prior to 1 a.m. from St. Paul makes the additional stop at Cumberland Farms near O'Hare. After an hour driving east on I-94, the first stop at a non-24-hour McDonald's outside Eau Claire, Wisconsin, serves to interrupt my attempted sleep, and the next stop at Toma 90 minutes later causes further interruption. My Manta sleep mask did very well to eliminate the lights that come on at each stop, but not the small clamor of all-nighter passengers who file off the bus for a middle-of-the-night lunch or whatever you call a meal at 3:30 a.m.
Thank you. Welcome to Milwaukee.
I figured the 6:30 call upon Milwaukee would mark the end of my attempted sleep, and it did just that. 1 to 3 inches of expected snow here would escalate with each mile further south. The restroom was functional and fresh, though not heavily used. Not bad all around, though the occupied light outside was stuck on, so it was slightly confusing. I've got to hand it to our drivers. They delivered us through the snow nearly at speed without incident, even as the freeways around Chicago saw accumulating lake effect snows challenging driving conditions on this Sunday morning. The northbound Greyhound back to the cities was seen stuck on the shoulder not far from here. So all in all, I felt lucky that we got through it all. Only one passenger was snoring, and infrequently at that. Other noises were passably obscured by the onboard climate control white noise. Legroom was tight enough that while I could doze off, I had to readjust my posture every hour, thus making me groggy, but happily so, as we pulled off the highway at Cumberland, just over the city limits of the Windy City. Our Pace Bus Route 331 was laid over 2 lanes over from our Greyhound stop, with an overhang. I was surprisingly the only one of about 30 passengers alighting here. I had plans to catch Metra's Union Pacific West train from Maywood and spend the morning in Geneva prior to heading into the city closer to check-in time at my hostel in the Loop. The 331 is the north-south suburban cutting crosstown connection that Chicago needs more of. With hourly frequency on the weekends, it's not bad, but hardly convenient. Still, anything to keep me out of the downtown Greyhound station is good enough today. We deviate through a closed and snowbound Triton College campus, prior to making our way toward Maywood on the Union Pacific Line. I'm the only one awaiting the first outbound train of the day at this Spartan station, but it's open, heated, and even has a few possibly working 120-volt outlets. I didn't try them. I did get a full inbound ride that we'll have a longer form video for in the coming weeks of the Union Pacific West Line. It was one of the first lines that I ever rode in Metra, but it seemed a lot more hospitable today, being on a Sunday, and not too many riders, but it wasn't devoid of people on the way back in, though this first train out of the day was quite personal, let's say. I'm actually going to be picky about this ride so I can charge devices. I'm going to get a full ride back in from Geneva. I wish there was more to do in Geneva. Hopefully they have some sidewalks cleared, because I'm going to go to a bagel place for lunch. I'm going to need to walk over the river and down a ways. It seemed to be the best prices. Though some suggested they had microwaved them. I don't know if that means they just use one of those, cookers that some restaurants use, or actual microwave. I guess we'll just see. The price is right. Outbound trains call on the platform opposite this station/waiting area, so be ready upon the 5 to 8 minute PA announcement to mosey on over to the other side and await getting blasted in the face with snow by the Elburn-bound train and its shiny gallery cars in tow. We want. Perfect. Bike car even. I chose 5 and Howick coffee in Geneva because I'm a fan of Ren and Stimpy. The chorizo breakfast burrito did not disappoint nor fill me up. So across the Fox River I walked to Bad Guy Bagels, where I was lucky to get one of 2 tables to eat a pepper and egg sandwich, which I had just learned is a Chicago thing, on a jalapeno cheddar bagel, which did get industrial convection oven preparation. Just fine for a walk around town in winter. So the only other time I've been here was in 2008. I think I'm gonna have to curtail the plan today. The museum sounds okay, but when it's this cold and this long a walk, after a night spent trying to sleep on Greyhound, that's okay, it's just not enough. All right, Megan, here we are for your pasta. That's not today. Spouses hate it when your one thing you want to go to get on a vacation for them is closed. Guess we'll have to find something in Chicago. Geneva's doing better to get these roads and sidewalks cleared as I've been here. Kudos to them. Those interstates coming in on the bus, man, those were questionable, especially there toward the end. That Greyhound driver, that team of drivers, professionals. Oh, what a bust. I mean, it was good to walk around and get some fresh air, albeit extremely freezing, blowing air over the Fox River in your lungs. But I feel good and cleared up. And now I'm ready to spend several hours on trains again. I think that will salve my soul. So it's Harrington Station, 3rd Street Station, and Geneva Station. That would be a great place to sit and wait for the train. But of course, all are locked. Every door to every waiting room of the 3 that are here and climate controlled. Thanks, Geneva. I can't be too pouty. It's only like 12 minutes till the next train. Good video to come from that. I'll wait it out. Be cold a little longer. It's not like we're standing on the river.
UP West train number 503 to Melbourne is now arriving. Please step behind the yellow line. Melbourne is now arriving. Please step behind the yellow line.
87. the Metra didn't pull this train into the nearby yard, allowing me and other passengers to warm up and get set to record a long-form inbound ride for next week or thereafter. Or at least, that's what I was doing. I had a private room awaiting me at the hostel and was able to take the electric line down to Homewood to eat at one of the Pope's favorite restaurants. More on that in future videos. Thanks for watching this one today. Hope you enjoyed the Greyhound ride. I'll see you next time.